Well, how do you get everything done every day? How do you keep everything organized so that at the end of the day, you know that you've accomplished all the things that you'd want? Well, for me, I do a list. I'm a list maker. It makes it very uncomplicated, it's easy, it's satisfying, and it works for me. I remember when my children were very small. There were so many things to do and so many places to go. And honestly, some days I was just overwhelmed. And one day I had to stop, and that was the day I became a list maker. For me, I needed to be able to put things in cubicles. And that made it easy for me. So I start with a piece of scratch paper. I do it the night before, and I write everything I need to do. Now, you may only want to write major things that you have to have done, but for me, I like to write all kinds of stuff. In fact, if I decide to do something during the day that's not on my list, I write it down and then I cross it off because it makes me happy. I find it satisfying. And a list makes me be able to look back through the day and go, I accomplished all of these things. I think it makes me more productive. And as a suburban homesteader, there are always so many things to do every day, always. It just makes it easier. And when I'm more productive, it makes me run smoother in my life. Now, some people don't need that, but a lot of us do. And so I'm going to take you through the day. You'll see my lists from this morning, and we'll just go through. I shot a little bit of video on some of the things that I was doing, and I hope you really look at it and say, this could make me more productive. This would make my life easier. Now, some people use their phone. Some people use the computer, a calendar. For me, I just use a piece of scratch paper. And if I don't finish everything, the next day, I add it to that list. But when I stop before I go to bed and write all my lists down, it makes it easier for me to get everything done. And I think it just makes our lives run smoother. So let's start with the day. As I said before, I always do my list the day before. So this is today's list. And as I do each thing, I either check it off or I just cross it out. Now, like Joe finds this an important one. Feed Joe. I fed him breakfast already, so that's a check, because I'll do that multiple times during the day. But I've read, I've fed the animals, I've got my blueberry kombucha ready so that it can sit for the 3 days, and then I'll be able to bottle it up. I already planted my hydroponics. I had pulled out lettuce and different things that were just so huge. My little plants weren't getting any light, and we had taken so much off of them. So I just thought it was time to change it around a little bit. Had to add water to the hydroponics today anyway, and nutrients. So I thought it was a good time. I also like to plan out my year, 5 years, 10 years. So this is my list for the second half of 2020. I want to put the new tile in the kitchen and really remodel it with the new cabinets. I'd like a window in the bedroom. That's my birthday present from Joe, so he's going to have that installed. And I'd like to expand our driveway. Part of it is just gravel, and I'd like to put concrete all the way across. But this is just an example of what I do every day so that I can get all my stuff done and ready. It was time to redo some of my hydroponics, but look at this massive basil. Is that just crazy? And I've got Swiss chard, but most of them I just replanted today. So I dropped the seeds in. I did move up a whole bunch of little lettuces that were just getting shaded from all the other plants because I pulled all my regular lettuce we'd been eating on for so long. These will perk up because they're going to have light all the time. There's a Swiss chard that's just beginning, and then this Swiss chard is huge. Well, my list is almost done and I still have a few more hours. So I think I'll be able to get every single thing done on my list. Hooray! Like, subscribe, share with the world. Ring that notification bell. This is Sandy and I am Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming.